guys, it's Dan and Cade from Kitsap CrossFit. Back to talk about the next workout for My First Throwdown 6. This is actually will be the third workout of the day, and it's going to be a 10-minute chipper. So what we have, you're basically going to be having lots of fun with your bumper plate. So the workout starts, it's a 10-minute chipper, as I said, and you're going to start with 20 burpees jumping onto your bumper plate. From there, you'll transition to the ab mat, where you'll do 30 sit-ups with your bumper plate. Obviously, we're going to demonstrate all of these. Then you'll transition to the medicine ball, where the medicine ball will serve as a target so that you can do 40 squats to the medicine ball while holding your bumper plate. And then finally, you're going to do 50 ground to overheads with the bumper plate before transitioning to the rower, where you're going to row 500 meters without the bumper plate. If you finish that in under the 10 minutes, you start back over with the burpees. So again, just to review, it's 20 burpees, 30 sit-ups, 40 squats, 50 ground to overheads, and then a 500-meter row. You have 10 minutes to accumulate as many repetitions as possible. So what we'll do now is we'll talk about some of the standards for the movements, give you ideas of what we're looking for, and things that will not count or be no reps. Okay, so for the burpee standard, it's super simple. Really, all we want to do is make sure that you're all the way down on the ground. We want to see your chest touch the deck, and you need to come back up, get on top of the bumper plate, and we want to see you establish control at the top of the bumper plate. Okay? So, again, things that we would consider a no rep would be if you don't get all the way down. So you can see it doesn't quite get all the way down there. We want to see the chest go all the way down to the floor. Okay? On the bumper plate, if you jump up, if you step up, it doesn't really matter to us. Really what we want to see is that you establish control on top of the bumper plate. So if you were to get all the way down to the floor, but then don't quite establish control on the bumper plate, that's not going to count. So we want to see you stand up nice and tall and establish that control on top of the bumper plate. Okay? Like I said, super simple for the burpees. All right, for the sit-ups, what we're going to have you do is you're going to hold the bumper plate just out in front of you a little bit. It doesn't have to be an arm's length. It doesn't have to be over your head. Don't recommend either one of those. Just hold it slightly out in front of you. Everyone's going to use an ab mat, and we'll have you butterfly your legs in the front. From there, we want you to sit all the way back, and we want to see your shoulder blades touch the floor, and you're going to come all the way up. Okay? Now, how do we know if you're all the way up? I want to see a straight line from your shoulder down to your hip. Okay? So show us one where you don't quite come all the way up. That won't count. He's not quite reaching that vertical position. So we want to see him come all the way up. The shoulder goes past the hip. Okay? And notice the bumper plate stays right in front of the chest. He doesn't bring it up and over his head to try to swing it and get momentum. It just stays right in front of his chest the whole time. Okay? Pretty simple standards there as well. Okay, in keeping with the theme of simplicity, we're going to talk about squats. Really, all you have to do is squat to the target, which is your medicine ball. We want to see your butt touch the ball every time. We want to see you stand up nice and tall every time and establish that full extended position of the knees and the hips. Your bumper plate, again, you can kind of hold it however you want. You can hold it this kind of Zercher style right against your chest, sit all the way down to the ball, and all the way back up. You can hold it over your head if you like, on top of your head, on your back, over one shoulder. It really doesn't matter. We just want to make sure that you're hanging onto your bumper plate. You touch the ball every single time. You stand up nice and tall every single time. Okay? Okay, here's a couple of examples of squats that wouldn't count. So let's say Cade doesn't go all the way down, not quite touching the ball. Okay? Or if he goes all the way down but doesn't establish that full extension at the top. You'll see this when people are trying to really rep them out. They don't quite stand all the way up. Do one more where you pause and now stand all the way. You can see the difference there between those two reps. Okay? So we're looking for touch the ball, full extension at the top. All right, the last movement with the bumper plate is going to be the ground to overhead. So the bumper plate will start with it touching the floor, one edge of the bumper plate touching the floor. The movement finishes with the bumper plate over your head, full extension of the elbows, full extension of the shoulders, hips, and knees. Okay? And he's just going to rep out a few. touch, all the way overhead. Okay? How you get it there is up to you. Things that wouldn't count is if you don't touch the floor, so you just go almost all the way down, but not quite, or not getting full extension at the top. So not quite locking out the elbows, or maybe leaving it way out front here. Again, we want to see that nice straight line from the bumper plate. Go ahead and finish a good one. So from the bumper plate down through the shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles. Okay? And then the final piece is the rowing. We really don't have to talk about standards. You can't really get no reps on the rower. We're just looking for 500 total meters on the rower before you transition and start over if you finish it under the 10-minute mark. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Just to recap, it's 10-minute AMRAP chipper, 20 burpees jumping onto the bumper plate, 30 sit-ups, 40 squats, 50 ground to overheads. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the weights. Men's weight is a 35-pound plate. Women's weight is a 25-pound plate. After that, you have a 500-meter row. If you finish that in under the 10-minute cap, you're going to start over, and again, continue to accumulate as many reps as possible. Good luck with that one. Can't wait to see you on the 10.